Huge celebrations at Stamford Bridge with that victory as the fans start to make their way home, but they've been celebrating for a long time after the final whistle. And the results this weekend don't hugely favour Chelsea, but Newcastle dropping points at Brighton may well just help them a little bit. And on the wrong end of that 4-3 scoreline at Brentford, Spurs held to a 1-1 draw at West Ham. Remember, you can see highlights of all today's Premier League games on the Sky Sports app. If you scan the QR code, that'll take you straight there. So let's take a look at what all of that means then as far as the table is concerned. It is a big 3 points for Chelsea because it means the gap between themselves, Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, is now at 3 points. Forest, of course, playing at Crystal Palace on Monday Night Football. They go level on points with Newcastle after they dropped points against Brighton earlier on. It was a win for Manchester City, and then Arsenal dropping points might just make those teams below them think that possibly second place might start to come into the equation. But only 3 games left to play for everybody bar Nottingham Forest. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, it was a point for Tottenham, a defeat for Manchester United. So Tottenham at 38 and Manchester United on to 39 points.
How significant does that feel for Chelsea in terms of the Champions League, Glenn?
Very significant, I've got to say. You know, they had that, they saw Newcastle drop points, so they said, right, we've got to get out and do our business. Cut away from Liverpool, the champions, and whether they play at their very best or whatever team they get out, they had to be professional. And they did. I felt they were going to be motivated. They came out of the traps really quick and hit performances from Chelsea, Palmer being the top one, but Cucurella defensively didn't see Salah today, really, at all. Done his job. Salah really doesn't defend that much, but he didn't go and attack Cucurella. It was like one-on-one, take him out of the game, did the job. Casado did very, very well on the other side, right back, and then went into midfield, releases Fernandez, and you see him, Fernandez, arriving in the box quite a lot, gets his goal. So tactically, Chelsea today, it was all spot on, and they got it right, and they thoroughly deserved the win. But the fact that Palmer, the talisman, really, who's been so brilliant since he's been at Chelsea, has had this lean spell. For him to get on the score sheet and play, like we said before the show, before the game, let him play. He's best when he's just playing free. And today he had that position where he could, because Casado goes into midfield, it releases him even more. So he found himself in lots of times and space, and wow, if you're going to give him time and space, he will hurt you. And he did today. He hurt Liverpool a lot.
And with the run he's been on, 18 games, as we mentioned, without a goal involvement, it would bother some players, but his body language, he doesn't look like he gets bothered in any way, shape or form, Cole Palmer.
He doesn't, but internally he would be a bit
He wouldn't show it, would he?
No, he wouldn't really show it, but I mean, Glenn makes the right point, because we've all been there. We've all had lean spells. We've all either not scored, or if you're a defender, you're conceding all the time, or making mistakes, or whatever position you play. You do something. When things go wrong, you start thinking about things. Why am I not playing? Why am I not scoring now? What have I done? And you start thinking, shall I get closer to the goal? Will it give me a better chance of scoring if I do this, this and this? And as soon as you start becoming a thinking player, you've not got that natural magician-like things that Cole Palmer has got. And he has got to go out there and almost, he's better when he's not bothered, when he is what he seems, you know, when he's just lackadaisical, you know, just looks like it's a park game. And I think that's what he started looking like again today. Don't tie him down to rules, don't put him in positions or say you've got to be here at this point. Let him play, because that's when he creates magic. And yeah, and I think if there's anybody, like, don't get me wrong, certain defenders, when the ball's there, you have to be here. That's just, you know, certain. But for someone like Cole Palmer, that's a bit of a free spirit, he doesn't want to be tied down to anything. And Glenn hit the nail on the head before the game. You know, he looks like, before today, he looked like he was thinking about it. And when he thinks, you know, it's not a good sign. So, yeah, he was back to his best.
I think the thing with a player like Palmer is that when you're not playing at your best, things start to get like a wall, and they start to enclose in you and within your mind. And then it gets worse, and then he's gone all them games without scoring. Now he's broke the seal, what I call breaking the seal in this game. That can be done in one game. All that build-up of many, many games are out the window now. It's just one game that takes a creative player to really say, I'm back to my best. So it's come at a great time for him. They're in a semi-final of a conference if he plays. And obviously they're playing Newcastle next, who's the biggest rival for them for the top 5. So it's a wonderful time for him just to go. He'll forget about all that now. That's out the window. That's gone. That's down the road. It's now, wow, I enjoyed that. I'm back to my best. Can't wait to get out and play again.
What he's got to do, though, Glenn, as well, he's still only reasonably young. What he's got to probably do is learn from this and not feel that enclosed. In future, he can't let it go to 17 games. You know, there are easy wins. When you get experience, there are easy wins that actually get you out of these ruts far, far quicker than an inexperienced player. There's simple things that you can do to make yourself feel better again. And I think he might look back on this run and think, do you know what? What took me so long? There's nothing different here. And next time it might be 4 or 5 games of not Cole Palmer play.
There's a great point you make there. And with my experience now, I've been a player for so many years and the manager, is that that happens and you wait for that to come alive. Now, it's took a long, long time for him for that to happen. Too long. Now, there's 2 ways of doing that. You're waiting and waiting for that game or a striker, that goal, when there's a little bit of a lean spell. But that's why sports psychologists in the games today can shortcut that. I don't know if he's worked with a sports psychologist there or not, but you could have put that right way back. If he'd have gone and sat and spoke to him and started... Because everything comes from your mind first. It's your intention first. You don't just go out and play. Your mentality and how you think and how you feel is even more important than how you think. So that could be put back in very, very quickly. Particularly strikers, for instance. If a striker misses an open goal and they go in, they say, sorry, lads, let you down. And say, you're right on the Monday morning. You go, yeah, I'm fine, Gaffer, I'm fine. You wouldn't tell them that you're not. It's playing in there. It's in the subconscious. Now, that can come out with a sports psychologist. That's why you have them. Because mentally, the game's played in your mind first. That's the first port of call for any player. And I think he will learn from that. And the experience of it now, I put it right last time. It took me a long time. But that's why sports psychologists are so important in sport, not just football.
Interesting. OK, high time we got some Chelsea reaction. Moises Caicedo is alongside Cole Palmer.
So even before the goal today, you must have felt like you'd really helped your team. You looked like you enjoyed it. You had a big influence on the game.
No, yeah, today I felt like myself. I have before the recent times. I felt confident. I was trying things, first time passes, playing forward, not just playing free. And when you got him next to you, it's a dream, really.
You're wondering, it's you guys in attacking areas that get a lot of the credit. How good is he?
Wow, machine. Obviously, from the start of the season to now, I think he's been our best player. Yeah, he's a machine, wins everything back, always 100% every day. Humble, nice to everyone, and yeah, everyone loves him.
Yeah. Do you want to repay the compliment, Moises? Because this guy, good players have tough moments, and Cole's maybe had one, but there's no doubt in the quality, is there?
No, Cole, he's an amazing guy. Always trying hard also. Yeah, I'm so happy for him. He helped us a lot, even when he didn't score. He helped us. Yeah, he's a great guy, and he deserves everything.
Okay, so Cole Palmer back in the goals, also player of the match, but I'm not sure you actually agree with that, do you?
I mean, I'll take it.
I thought you were handing it over to Moyes. No, Cole Palmer is the player of the match. Well played.
He's got personality. He's 23 this week, actually. And he's a sort of a character that would rub off in a positive way on his teammates, Glenn.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, he looks like like we're saying, as a player when he's at his best, doesn't care too much, doesn't think too much about it. It's well, I didn't think I played, player of the match. I think there was better players out there. He's pretty humble as well. Let's hope he doesn't change. The key for him is not to change. That's the thing. Go back to analyse how he's played today compared, and how he's felt inside, and how he's played today compared to the last run that he's had, and keep that, keep it for the rest of his career. Then when, as Michael said, when he goes through these little runs again, he might get injured, come back 3 weeks later and say, right, I've done it before, I can do it again now. And that's where you have to think about the game to be consistent and play year after year after year. But he's a special talent. I just hope he doesn't start really thinking about the game until he's 30. if you like, and then he can hand it all on to somebody else during a game and give him their experience, because he's a kid. Hopefully he'll play for England like that as well, you know, and just feel as if a manager's job then is to say, look, I really, really rate you. You can have 4 bad games and you're still going to play the 5th game. If you tell him that and he can relax and go and play, we'll get the best out of him.
Let's have a closer look then, Michael. Why was he more like his old self today with the Man of the Match award there?
Well, we've mentioned a couple of his attributes that are just natural. I mean, you can't teach that. For example, you're trying to find space. You're working outside, going further and further wide to get a bit of space, and you realise, you know what? If I get the ball now, I'm going to be a couple of yards away from the side of the pitch at best. And he turns, he spins, he finds space inside. I mean, some of these balls, like that one there, there was one later in the game. I mean, he's seeing pictures before anybody else does, before he even gets the ball.